All right, so a new series on the channel. We are rebuilding Ajax. It's going to be a 5-part series, 5 seasons to put Ajax back on the map. However, we're going to do it using a Johan Cruyff tactic here. This is my 3-3-3-1 tactic that I did. Total Football based around the Barcelona. I will leave a link down in the description to the original tactic video. And I thought I would combine the two. Ajax have struggled. They had a horrendous start to the season. They've had about 3 or 4 managers since Ten Hag left in the summer of 2022. And I thought, what better way to put Ajax back on the map? Kind of easy if you just do the generic 4-3-3, but I thought let's do Total Football. All right, so 5-parter. Today is season 1. Idea is we're going to stick to the tactic no matter what. We've got a little bit of squad building to do. In particular, a couple of roles that really need filling. We need to bring through that youth and we need to make the game entertaining. It has to be entertaining. Hopefully this tactic, I'm a little bit worried because I don't do tactics based on how well they do in the game. I've replicated it as close as I can to his Barcelona tactic. He did manage Ajax for a couple of seasons before he moved on to Barca, but obviously he had most of his success at Barca. So we're going to see how it does in the game. And hopefully by the 5th season, we've put him on the map. I would absolutely love to win a European trophy. I'm really not sure how it's going to do. If you do want this tactic, by the way, link down in the description. You can get it on the Patreon. I will repost it right now so you can copy it into your own FM save. If you love it, appreciate the content that I'm doing, go check out the Patreon. Don't worry, I will leave, as I said, the link down in the description to the tactic video itself. All right, so the squad itself is, now I've made a couple of signings. Number 1, I thought we want to bring in some really quality youngsters, potentially players that we can sell on. And we did need another wide player. So I've brought in Cruyff Tactic. I haven't actually used him in FM before, bizarrely, despite him being a wonder kid. £15 million for the 18-year-old. I did think, though, that Cruyff Tactic would be one of those players that, despite only being 18, would be good enough for the Eredivisie. Fingers crossed, 15 million will be an absolute snip. I've also brought in Sepp Vandenberg, 6'4", Dutch, I think was important. We've got him on loan. He's also got a year left on his deal. So maybe, I'm really wanting to bring more of a Dutch. I think they've gone away. There's some really poor youngsters that I'm going to, not poor youngsters, but very average youngsters that I'm going to show you. And I thought, well, if we're going to have average kind of players as backups, then I want them to be Dutch. So I've got him in, preferably playing sort of like maybe fourth choice centre-half, but really good loan deal. And then I have brought in Bertrand Traoré just because I'd started this save a day before he'd actually signed. He signed in real life for Ajax. He was on a free, so we've just picked him up. He's quite decent at this level. He can play either wing. He can play up front. I'm a little bit unsure. Now, obviously, in the squad itself, we've got some really good players. Obviously, goalkeeper's good. We've got Satalo, Vandenberg, obviously Hato as well, who's going to be absolutely tremendous. 6'2", left-footed defender worth a lot of money. Probably have to sell him at some point, but we will maximise him as much as possible while we have him. Ideal, likes to play left back. Ideal ball playing sort of like wide central defender that we're playing with. We've got Jordan Henderson. However, he is absolutely superb. We will need to find some sort of replacement for him very soon. Maybe 2 seasons max. We'll need to find a replacement. Kenneth Taylor, really good in the game, 22 years old, chance to develop. I'm hoping that I'm going to keep him for the foreseeable. Very much going to be that number 8 player for us with the attacking creator, Van der Boomen, 29 years old now, so he's potentially going to need replacing. Cruyff Tactic, Steven Bergwijn will be our talisman, I imagine, for the series. Steven Berghuis, decent, but he is 32, so there's a little bit of work to do. And then we've got Brobby up there, who I don't think is an elite striker at this level. Yes, we're only Ajax, but if we want to do something on the European stage, we might need to strengthen in there. We have got other noticeable players. Wrench on the bench. Vindal's an interesting one. I am going to maybe just use him as a little bit of like a backup left winger and then a backup left-sided centre-half. Unavar can do various roles, so I imagine we'll do our best to keep hold of him. Chuba Akpom, I'm not sure if he's an absolute elite striker. Decent finishing, decent physicals, though. A noticeable one as well, Carlos Borges came from, I think, Man City. Yeah, he's come from Manchester City. Rapid, and he's still quite young. Yeah, he's only 20 years old, so he might develop into something useful. And then in and around it, we've just got players like this. He's only 20 years old. To be fair, he could make something out of him. needs a lot of work, but at 20 years old, I'm not sure how much he will develop. I suppose he's only, there's a few 14s and 13s in there. He might be all right. One here, the Bosnian, Tara, we're just going to call him Benjamin. Once again, 15 passing, 15 technique, 6'4", but he's 21. How much more developing is he going to do? He's lacking in physicals, lacking in mentals as well. Not going to be an absolute world-class player that we want. Another one, Kaplan, very average. I would say at the age of 21, not anything special. Kian Fitzjim isn't bad, but 21, strength of 5 as well. So the squad isn't absolutely amazing. There is someone called Manska, once again, okay in the physicals and the mentals, but not great technique. So there's a little bit of work to be done. I think to kick us on, I think with this 11 we're fine. I think the general squad for the Eredivisie is okay. We're in the Europa this year. So, was it the Europa? No, we're in the UEFA Conference League, and we have got a game coming very, very soon. Right, what we're going to do is we're going to kick on. We're going to finish the transfer window. I don't know if I'm going to bring any more players in. Are we skint? Yeah, we got 12.85, but we have got 100k debt in terms of wages, so we need to sort that out. Loads of little potential sell-on clauses and stuff that we've got in there. We've obviously got some youth team players that are going to be exceptional for us, so we'll keep a track on them. Hopefully, as I said, maybe we're looking at maybe season 3, introducing a whole host of these into the squad for season 3 as backup. So I think really our transfer policy needs to be good. Either those little bargains, remember when he brought Huntelaar back and things like that, maybe as Dutch players, but then bringing in some really exciting youngsters, maybe under the age of 23 and under, who are ready though to go into the first team. So if we're going to buy players, they kind of need to be ready now, but still at that good young age that we then can progress them and then potentially sell on. So, Rooney Bargi really comes into that in terms of being able to start right now, good age, and then probably a good sell on value. Right, we're into October, and as you can see, it's gone pretty well. It's gone pretty well. We've qualified for the Europa Conference League just very quickly. Got a nice little draw in there with the teams that we're playing, so we should qualify from that. But we've won, there's a 6-0, there's a 6-2, there's a 6-0, there's a 4-1. We beat PSV away from home. We didn't bring anyone else in, but we have then got money to play with in January if needed. So we're going to fast forward onto January. Let's see if we can keep that form going. Like, as you can see from the league table, it's been pretty damn good. 8 wins, 32 goals in those 8 games. What's that? Averaging 4 a game? 4 a game, and only conceded 4 goals in those games. Already got a 5-point lead, however, we've not played Feyenoord yet. Right, moving into January, we have tried to strengthen a little bit just with our midfield area, with Van den Boomen, Henderson and Kenneth Taylor kind of being the ones, and also with us not really having an exceptional number 10. What I've decided to bring in is Renato Sanchez, one of these players that will be really good at the Eredivisie. He did like being a small fish in a large pond. Remember at Lille, he was absolutely superb. Gone to PSG, not worked out. We're going to get him at a really good deal at £3.9 million. Good in those 8 roles, and also perhaps you could do number 10 role, shadow striker. He's got the physicality to do it. Runs the ball through the centre. Exceptional, nice little pickup just to get us through to the end of the season. Sepp Vandenberg as well, we've offered him a contract. He's had an impressive sort of like debut season for us, 24 games, average rating of 7.30. And as you can see, the form itself has been good. The only defeat was a 3-1 defeat at Feyenoord. Dominated the ball, but we did give them an XG of 2.17. So a deserved win for them. Everything else has been good. However, we have just been knocked out by Vitesse in the cup. I did a couple of changes. I thought it'd be enough to get us through, maybe 5 or 6 changes. And we've been knocked out by Vitesse. So it's all about the league and the knockout stage of the Conference League. And as you can see, the league table, there you go. 66 goals in 18 games, 11 against. Goal difference already of 55. And to be fair to Feyenoord, they're just, 4 points behind, but we have got a game in hand. So now we're coming to the end of February. Once again, our results, we've racked up a 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 consecutive wins, and it has put us 9 points clear. We've already scored 81 goals, and we've just conceded 14. Bearing in mind, I know the standard is not absolutely amazing. But we are having to rotate heavily. And also we have got this, we've got no fullbacks, we've got no wing backs, and we've managed to do, I didn't think defensively, I thought we'd score goals, but I didn't expect us to be this defensively sound. If we look at the team stats, like if you're wanting to dominate the ball, 66% average possession. Some of these games as well, we're having well over 17. Then we just have these random games where we batter someone and then just have about 50%. So definitely a tactic where you can control games. We've got Dynamo Kiev. There is the last 16 of the Europa Conference League. Unfortunately, Chelsea are in it. Lyon, I would expect us to beat everyone, maybe apart from Chelsea. So hopefully someone can do us a favour and knock Chelsea out. And there you go. With 4 games to spare, we've already been crowned champions. 2 defeats. We have lost a second game, losing to Sparta Rotterdam, a really random one. Coming off the back, was it coming off the back of a European game? It was preparing for a European game. Did I do some rotation? No, just one of those games where we haven't turned up, which does happen, and we've been punished. Still, 98 goals. We're going to score well over 100 goals. 21 conceded as well. 14 points clear with 4 games to go. We're still in the Europa Conference League. Chelsea is still there. They've got a 3-3 against Fiorentina. We got a 2-2 against Basel. Sotalo and Rooney Bargi. Rooney Bargi, who's had a decent season. I would have liked to have him scored more goals. Bear in mind that we scored like 98 goals. He's only scored, 6? So maybe needs to improve on that. But his attributes are on the way up and he has assisted 13. Our league season has finally ended. 94 points, 31 wins. We got a draw in there. I think it was last game of the season against Go Ahead Eagles. 2 defeats, 108 goals scored. Our first title for 3 seasons. So we've absolutely dominated domestically. And with that, 68% possession. Absolutely dominating, averaging 3.18 goals per game. However, the European dream ended in the final. A 1-0 defeat to, of course, Chelsea. Mudryk into Casado and then Conor Gallagher doing what he does best, arriving late in the penalty area. Heartbreak for us on 34. Bearing in mind as well, they only had 4 shots the entire game. We didn't dominate possession, but double their XG. Only 3 shots on target with us, and if you look at the average ratings, we didn't quite get going. Just notable performances from Bergwijn and Sepp van der Berg. So a heartbreak for us, but we have finished the season 1, incredibly well. We've been given a little bit of money to play with. We've got £22 million with 1.2 million in wages, so that gives us a nice little boost. 140 grand to spend on wages. Sepp van den Berg is coming in. Notable performances from the season. Rooney, 54 appearances. Look at this. Branko van den Boomen, 31 goals from central midfield. Now, he did have a lot of pens. How many pens did he have? 12. That's 4 missed though, right? So he's only had 8, 9 out of the 31 were actually pens. So he hasn't done bad there. So he has scored, 22 goals from open play. 17 assists from him. Absolutely incredible. Our leading goal scorer, Berghaus, who unfortunately is leaving at the end of the season. I did want him to tie into a 1-year deal, but he has said no. He's done extremely well in that shadow striker. We're definitely going to miss him. It's really important to try and replace him. I think because of the tactic that we have with the 2 wide players on support, we need that urgency getting in the box. And obviously, he's been pivotal for us in that. 36 goal contributions for him. Akpom's been our main striker. I'm not liking his age, but I am liking that little number below it. His value. If we can get anything around that, I would probably sell him on to try and bring in an elite striker if we possibly can. Now 29. Bargi's come good in the end. 19 goal contributions. Kenneth Taylor, 25 goal contributions. Brobby, as you can see, only 11 goals. He has had 21 sub-appearances. 20 starts, though, and only 2 assists. Bergwijn as well there. 36 starts, 10 goals, 21 assists. And then Renato Sanchez has come in, done pretty well. 7 goals, really likes to burst forward. I think he's probably his best position is maybe box-to-box midfielder. So it leaves us quite set up. I do think we need to potentially look at a goalkeeper down the line. 33 years old. I think we just need to make sure maybe by season 3 we've got a replacement in for him. I think I would like to get another centre-back in. A lot of these players, there's people as well I forgot to mention at the start. People like Sosa, just doesn't fit our style. So hopefully we can get a little bit of cash in for him. I do think we need a centre. I'm quite happy with the midfield for now. Henderson's definitely got another season in him. Maybe looking at him as being more of a deep line, more of a pit part player. The only issue is then, what do we do passing wise? Do we maybe bring Kenneth Taylor back? Can he do it? Yeah, he can probably do it. Maybe bring Kenneth Taylor in there, Renato Sanchez in there, or maybe look at bringing Van den Boomen back. Potentially, yeah, we might go with that. I do think then we maybe need to, I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. Do we need to strengthen there? Because we have got, obviously, Renato Sanchez. Berghaus is leaving as well. So it would look something maybe like that. And maybe getting in another attacking midfielder. Bergwijn, Bargi, Borges as well. Vindal can play out there. Univar. I don't think we need to bring in another winger. And then if we can sell, we probably need to go out and look at trying getting in another striker. Will the tactic work on the biggest stage of all, the Champions League? Johan Cruyff has kind of put Ajax back on the map. People will be talking about Ajax now because of the style of play and how we have won the Eredivisie this season. All right, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Smash a like on today's video. Make sure you subscribed. Part 2, Season 2 will be coming out in the next couple of days.